Spiders are scary, so why aren't there that many good killer spider horror movies? Like, what's the best one? I'm guessing most people would say Arachnophobia. I'd probably say, like, Kingdom of the Spiders. But beyond, like, a lot of, like, asylum movies and stuff like that, there really aren't that many modern killer spider movies, which is part of the reason why Infested is so good. I'm Adam Caesar, I write books and I talk about horror movies on the internet. Give me a follow if you want to see more like this. Infested, which just debuted on Shudder if you're in the US. I think it actually might be in Netflix if you're in France, where this film's from. And Infested takes a very simple premise. It's almost Attack the Block with spiders. It is spiders in a high-rise building where people are trapped and have to fight their way out. It takes that very, very simple premise and it does it incredibly elegantly and with a really great focus on characters. It sets us up with this character, Caleb. He's this poor kid, kind of a huckster, kind of a hustler, and we're not even 100% sure what to think of him. We're like, is this guy out to defraud people? We know he's selling shoes. We know that he has a collection of rare and endangered species, like different amphibians and reptiles and insects that he kind of keeps in his apartment. So we have all this background very, very quickly delivered, and delivered in this like interesting, ground level, very gritty, almost like this could be a drama on social issues way. So we get all this little different character development of this guy Caleb and all these people around him, his friends, his former friends, his sister. They're both bereaved because they lost their mother, who they were very close to. We get it all super, super quickly, and while we're setting up all the horror, because at the very beginning of the movie, he buys a little spider that we've already seen in a pre-credit sequence. The spider is going to be able to wreck house. This is a very bad spider. And we set up the building where he lives. We set up all these different characters, but as we're doing it, we're setting up set pieces for later because, in this one hallway, the light only works on a timer and it only works for a minute. In this other hallway, it's a motion sensor light. So we're setting up all these different horror set pieces that are building tension. There's different characters in his building. Some of them are very antagonistic towards him, think he's selling drugs. The word I used earlier was elegant. It's just so elegantly done. And that's where people that don't love the horror genre or don't fully understand or enjoy the horror genre, I think, always fall down when they're either dismissing these movies or trying to make their own movies and doing it poorly, is that they just forget that idea of a simple story told well outweighs almost anything. And I really love this movie. I think it's a great killer spider movie, maybe even the greatest killer spider movie. As I said, there's not a whole lot of competition. It's not to say that I don't think the film has faults or falls down in any moments, but that elegance and that emphasis on character, and it's just a super well-made, nice-looking movie. It doesn't look like your typical cheapo killer animal movie because it does a good mix of like real spiders in some sequences and CGI spiders in sequences where you clearly can't use real spiders. And you look at this movie, and in going to make this video, I looked on IMDb. Its director's name is Sébastien Vanicek. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly. He's been tapped to do one of the new Evil Dead movies. They're making a few different Evil Dead movies that take the series in all different directions, and you look at this movie and you're like, oh, I see that exactly. This is his first feature. He directed it, he co-wrote it. He'd done some shorts before that. And you look at how this movie's built and the kind of heart, the focus on character, incredibly intricate and just well-paced scare sequences. And you're like, yeah, that guy could probably smash an Evil Dead movie out of the park. Just a great, straightforward, enjoyable film. And as you start to see like the factors keeping these people in this high rise, whether they be kind of socioeconomic factors, whether they be policing factors, you start to see that there's probably a little bit more subtext than you're first thinking walking into a giant spider movie. Watch it on Shudder. And if you don't have Shudder, just a word of advice, the Shudder app that's like on Xbox doesn't even play this movie in surround sound, or at least it didn't on my app. The way to go if you're going to get Shudder is to just get AMC Plus on the Amazon Prime channels. Like, you can add it as a thing, because those apps just work so much better. And I had switched over from the Shudder app to the Prime app to watch this movie just because it didn't look right and didn't sound right in the Shudder native app. And it's just 100 times better and just a way more enjoyable experience. Surround sound, better picture. So that's, I think AMC is shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, picking up these great movies for distribution and then funneling horror fans towards an app that doesn't work as well as one of the other ones that they already own. But that's just my 2 cents.